Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this negative card, and by negative I mean it's sort of what's left after you have die cut something. Let me just bring in the ingredients. So this would be what you would cut out, and this would get stuck onto the front of the card, so that would be a positive. And again, this would be a background, and then a little more legible overlay would go on the top, and that would get stuck on the front of a card, and that would be a positive. What we're doing here is we're cutting out and taking away pieces, which is where the negative aspect of it comes in. So without further delay, let me set that off to one side and I will bring in the ingredients. Very simple. It's a piece of basic black, and it's 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5.5, or it would be scored at 5.5 if I'd done that. So let me just quickly bring in the paper trimmer and give it a quick score at 5.5. You can always fold it. It's just nice to score it because it sort of pre-breaks down the fibers in the card and you get a much neater edge. So that's the basis of the card. And then the negativity is I took a piece of basic white, and it's the quarter layer smaller, so it's 4 by 5 1/4, and I used the die. You can see most of the pieces are still in there, some of them are falling out, and I used the, oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called, Full of Life dies, which goes with the Best Life stamp set. So this came, well, obviously it's upside down. This came out of here. And then there is the Friend die, which is just the background. Again, it's the negative. So I popped that out. So now we've just got holes of the shapes. The other piece is also 4 by 5 1/4, and that's for the inside. So let me go ahead and pop that in. That's just obviously so you can stamp and write inside, and it will actually be legible unless you're using a white gel pen. And then the other ingredient is a piece of designer series paper, and I got this from the wonderful Full of Life set, which again coordinates with them. It's got all these wonderful designs, but then the reverse side of them are all these sort of tie-dye and watercolored, wonderful. Oh, these are just my kind of colors. So that's where I got this piece of cardstock designer series paper from, and I cut it again just a bit smaller. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. That we don't need. The die cut of the Friend we don't need, but we do need the skinny words. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to just pop this piece onto the front, just like that, and then we're going to attach the white piece over the top. But in order to be sure that the Friend, that's the words, matches in this piece, I'm just going to lay it over momentarily. And actually what I'm going to do is bring in a couple of little pieces of post-it note just to hold it in place. I mean, you can use your washi tape and stuff, but I'm just going to use simple little pieces of post-it just to keep it where it needs to be while I glue it in place. So I'm going to bring in the Tombow liquid glue, and I'm doing it on my silicone mat so it doesn't get sticky anywhere. And just put some little blobs of glue in strategic places, just enough that it's going to hold it in place. I think that looks good. So pop the cap on, and then what we need to do is pick it up and put it into place where it's going to look the best. So there we have it. And then we can just remove the little postage scraps, remove the front just for now, and give that a little chance to dry. And then what we need to do is we need to attach this on dimensionals so it's up and gives a little bit of shadow. And I'm going to be using the foam adhesive strips rather than stick loads and loads of little dimensionals on. Got these wonderful strips now. So we just need to put a strip down each side. And snip it off. A strip down that side. It's almost like making a shaker card with nothing inside it to shake, but it's just good to get it all raised up so it supports it. And then we'll just put a little piece across there, stick that back on the paper, and then I am actually going to use some dimensionals because these areas need a little bit of support. So we'll pop 2 on the bottom. Whoops. 1, 2, 3 there, and 1 up at the top so that doesn't sag down. And then we'll take all the backing papers off. I know one of these is already, that's that one, is already off. So then, of course, the good thing as well about the adhesive strips is that you've got all that length of support and the backing just comes off all in one fell swoop. Got to make sure everything is sticky. Now, in order that my head doesn't get in the shot, I'm just going to actually, let me give that a crease with the bone folder. Don't remember if I did that, seeing as I've forgotten to score it. I'm just going to momentarily stand up and get that into place. And then what we need to do is bring in the Memento Black. And I took 2 little word stamps out of Iconic Imagery. I took the 4 and I took the U, which are actually separate stamps. Should have actually done this first, but oh well. And then we're going to stamp 4U in the correct space. And then what I need to do is bring in a little eye dot. These are red and green adhesive backed pearls. Not the Christmas we've just had, the holidays before that. These were the hottest ticket item. And I managed to get my hands on quite a few packs of them. So now I've got more than quite a few left. So I'm just going to pop the eye. When you die cut this word, it does actually come with a dot, but that's it. It's very losable. And then I thought, seeing as there's the pink up at the top, I would use one of those little pearls, seeing as I've got so many of them. And then last but not least, I'm going to just brush the honeycomb bits of this with the Wink of Stella, so it gives it just a little bit of glisten. It just adds a little bit of an extra touch. So that's it. Negativity has never been so positive, if you pardon all my corny puns. That's 2 the same. They're raised up on the dimensionals. It's got the white inside for writing on, and it's a great way to use your dies in the opposite way. If you like what you've seen, please consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up. I do thank you in advance for that. All the directions and dimensions, of course, as always, will be on my blog. If you've got a question or a comment, pop those in the box below and I will always get back with you. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching.